It's a Flow Friday sports show on Flow FM. Time to go to Chris Graetz, the Wimmera Mallee Sport journalist, who joins us to talk all about the weekend that was in Wimmera football, the last weekend in the home and away season as we enter into finals. An exciting time for all involved. Chris, how are you?
Yeah, it's a very exciting time at the moment. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the finals to seeing what happens. How are you going?
Plenty to chat about with you. Doing very well indeed as we hit fever point with finals abound in just about all of our Flow FM network area leagues that we cover here. Chris, let's get into everything round 18. And we had Minyip Matop and Dimboola going at it in what was a game and a result that I dare say not many saw coming. Dimboola winning this 86-80. And Minyip Matop, they're a decent side. I don't think anyone saw Dimmy getting a win in their last game, but they've done it.
No, I certainly didn't. It's good for Dimboola. They've had a terrible year by their standards, and to come out and get a win in the last game and do it in the style they did, because, it was close in the first half. They took that 3-point lead at half time and they kicked 5 goals in the third quarter to lead by 33 points at three-quarter time, and Minyip Matop put on a huge comeback, kicking 7 goals, but they withstood it. And, they should have probably won by more because they kicked 12 goals, 14 Dimboola, and Jackson Calder was the star for them up forward with 7 goals. That brings his total to 43 goals for the year, and he played in 10 games, so that's pretty good. He finished 4th on the goal kicking. And for Minyip Matop, Jai Walter kicked 3 goals for them, and then they had a bunch of other goal kickers. So for Minyip, at home they would have been disappointed, but they've got a lot to build on for next year, considering the year they had with a lot of injuries. They've done well, and they've re-signed their coach, Gareth Hose, for another season, so he'll be back. And for Dimboola, Jack Lant, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, won't be coming back, and neither will Dylan Lant, I believe. And they've just appointed a new coach. He is Rodney Mackley. He played for them 20 years ago, won 4 best and fairest, so he's been coming back to the club, and they're focusing now on more of an off-the-field coaching panel full of experts rather than on-field playing coach. So they needed to do something to change up what they've been doing the last 5 years, and they're going in a different direction. So we'll see if it helps them next year, but there's going to be still a few tough years for them.
Plenty of news being digested and broken by Chris Graetz. We love to see it. Horsham Saints, they were undone by nil in the end, and we expected that to happen. 123-73, the final score there. How do you like Nil going into finals?
Yeah, Nil, they're going to be a dangerous team going into finals. They're full strength. They're playing good football at the moment. They have Daniel Batson and Drew Schneider kicked 4 goals each on the weekend. Daniel Batson stepping up in ruck and up forward. He's having an outstanding year there. Jake McQueen, their coach, is still kicking goals and their best player, and they're going to look really good come finals. We'll go into more detail later on. And the Saints, Frederick Frew, who's been injured all year, finally played again and kicked 3 goals for them. And they've been ruffled by injuries all year, so they'll use this being good for them. They've been able to blood a few young players, so they'll be stronger in 2025.
Ararat and Stawell, final score 105-70 in favour of Ararat, finishing strong. The perennial heavyweights this year, Chris, it has to be said.
Yeah, this is no surprise. Back on Good Friday, Stawell beat Ararat, but there were reasons for that. Ararat and unable been training on their main oval, had to train on an under-12s oval, and undone, and they've just beaten Stawell twice this year in the season when it really mattered. And this result here on the weekend was a solid result for them. Cody Driscoll kicked 3 goals for Stawell, and for Ararat, Tom Williamson kicked 4. So Tom Williamson won the league goal kicking by 3 goals over Cody Driscoll. Tom finished with 57 goals and Cody Driscoll finished with 54. And it's an interesting thing because we'll touch on this later as well, but they play each other in the first week in the final. So Stawell has got a good idea now what they need to do to beat them. So it's going to be an intriguing battle. So it's going to be interesting. what they've taken from the clash last week into this week.
Warwick Eagles had the bye. Leaves us to chat about Southern Mallee Thunder and Horsham Demons. 107-41 in favour of the Thunder. Very impressive way for them to end their season as well, Chris.
Yeah, this was a bit of a surprising result considering how close the game was last time they played. The Demons were in the lead last time they played at the 16-minute mark, and then the Thunder kicked the last 3 goals, but they were missing a couple players, including Ryan Kemp, who had a wedding to go to. And he's finished third on the goal kicking for 43 goals, so he's a huge chunk to lose from the match. But yeah, the Thunder heading into finals, dominating result. They weren't even challenged. You've got Kai Shears that kicked 3 goals for the Thunder, and yeah, it's given. I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. Kieran Delahunty has a tough assignment on his hand because Kai has stepped in from the back line up forward and done a terrific job. And they're going to get Brad Lowe back, and they're going to get Sangster back in the first week of finals next weekend. But what are they going to do? Are they going to keep Kai up forward and try and work a way into there, or are they going to put him down back because he's kicked 13 goals in 6 matches up forward, including the 3 twice and 4. So it's a nice headache for Kieran to have on the verge of finals.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Southern Mallee Thunder, they took out the minor premiership. Chris, your thoughts on that? Not sure that you would have predicted that in round 1.
A lot of people did think it would have been them. But again, some people thought Ararat too. So we knew it was going to be Ararat or Thunder. In the end, it was the Thunder. They won when it mattered. And yeah, they've done it without their best goal kicker over the last 7 weeks. So it's a good result for them, and considering they all came together at the start of the year with 2 new teams, amalgamating into one, yeah, they've done a good job to really gel together and get that team happening.
All right, let's take a look at Wimmera football finals. Firstly, you're the man on the ground. You get a feel for atmospherically how valuable these finals are for the community. Let us know just how big of a time it is in Wimmera for finals football.
Oh, it's massive. Everyone is excited. This has come. We've got the 5 best teams playing off to see who's going to win the premiership, and you have the best players in the finals, and yeah, everyone's pumped because everyone believes their team can win. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes.
Well, Stawell are going to have to be at their very best to match Ararat tomorrow in the first of the 2 finals happening this weekend. What's your prediction for that one?
Yeah, well, Stawell got a look at Ararat last week, and the main thing our Stawell need to do, both teams are at full strength, I believe, but what Stawell need to do is they need to not let Ararat get away from the fast start they had last week. Ararat kicked 6 goals to 1. And they can't afford to do that. If they can keep with Ararat early, they'll be closer, but I still expect Ararat to win. The condition of the ground at Neil was questionable. I believe that they were potentially looking at maybe moving the game at one stage during the week, but the ground has come up, so it's going to be depends how the ground runs, but I think Ararat will win. I think they'll win by 4 or 5 goals.
All right, we'll hold you to it like we always do. Horsham Demons in the other game against Neil. And this will be possibly a closer game. What do you reckon?
Oh, this will be a cracker of a game. Again, it all depends on the conditions. By all reports, it's going to be wet in Stawell, and a wet game will suit the Demons more. They've got that game style to suit the wet style because Neil are a fast-running team and they need the clean conditions. If it's dry, Neil will get over the top. If it's wet, I think the Demons will get over top. Considering the prediction for the weather is going to be wet, I'm going to say the Demons are going to get home in a thriller, but it's going to be less than 12 points.
All right, before we let you go, Chris, we've got the matter of the best and fairest, which is coming up soon. And in the lead up to that, you've been tasked with picking the team of the year. That's a bit of pressure, Chris. Tell us about the process and a little bit about the final end result. Profile the team of the year for us.
Yeah, I had a meeting with the league at the start of the year, and I just asked them, because they knew we were going to launch this sport paper we do on Tuesday, and I just asked them if I can just be one of the selectors for Team of the Year, and they handed it over to me to organise and run, and I wasn't the only selector. It had to be marked off by Gavin Morrow, one of the main sponsors of the league from Morrow Motor Group, and Neil King, a board member. But all the coaches submitted a nomination of the players they think should be in Team of the Year, and I got 45 nominations, and from there we decided a team of 21, because there's 3 on the bench in this league, and we've put players in their positions. So it's a position-based team, which is something the league hasn't done. And they got a lot of flack last year about how the process was. And this year, looking at the team, the final team was selected last night, and all 3 of us are pretty happy with it. Everyone should be happy with it. Like all teams of the year, there's going to be some people that say, oh, this person should have been in. But once you look at their positions, you'll see the process and you'll see, yeah, okay, this is pretty good team, so we're expecting good positive feedback about it. And that will be presented on the Best and Fairest night in 3 weeks' time.
We look forward to hearing how it goes. Chris Graetz, just before we do let you go, I've said that before already, let us know where listeners can go to buy the Wimmera Mallee Sport, whether it be physically or online.
Yeah, so Wimmera Mallee Sport is our Tuesday-based sport paper. You can get it anywhere you get your papers around the Wimmera, and if you aren't in the Wimmera or can't get a hard copy, you can go to wmsport.com.au, sign up for an online subscription, and not only do you get the Wimmera Mallee Sport digital edition, but you get the Horsham Times, Warwick Herald, Dindal, the Banner, and Rainbow Argus as well, so it's good value for money. Everyone that listens to this message, sign up, because you want to read the sport paper, because the last 2 weeks we've had 24 pages of sport, and on there's not many papers around the country that have that much sport in their paper, so it's definitely a good read.
Chris Graetz from the Wimmera Mallee News. We're just going to have to pick ourselves up again after what's been a huge season and get up for finals. Enjoy it all across the weekend. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you, Alice. Have a good weekend.